About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's be free with me. About to leave.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tea Time. Today, my very special guest is Mikkel Leslie, and you may remember Mikkel from visiting us back in December for a Tea Time interview. So tonight, we are coming to you with something very special. Mikkel is going to give you a presentation, a short little workshop on how you can understand those limiting beliefs that you hold and how you can absolutely crush them. So today, Mikkel, thank you so much for being here with me today. I appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This will be fun.
It is going to be amazing. I am so excited. So let me give you the floor. I'm going to go right over to your presentation.
Yes, so you can go to the next slide. So I want to talk to you about your goals, your desired results that you want. What is it that you want? This is what we're going to be discussing today and talking about what is actually holding you back from achieving those things, those limited beliefs, that inner critic, whatever it is, and we're going to work today to break through that. So grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, and write down what it is you want. And when you write this down, make sure it's something that you're actually excited about. Sometimes we can write a goal and be like, I'm not so sure about this, and maybe it'd be nice to do it. But as we'll talk about, working through some of these things, that inner belief, those things that hold you back from actually achieving this goal can be hard to work through. So if it's not something that you're excited about, it's not going to be worth the journey to actually get there. So think of something that gets you excited. Is it traveling? Is it running? Is it losing weight? Is it making more money? What is it for you that lights you up and gets you excited? And the reason why we're going into our limiting beliefs today is because I have a background in project management. And so goals, breaking down your results, what you want, New Year's resolutions, I had that. I got it. I broke down like what I needed to do each day, marked it off on the calendar, and went through it. But I found that I actually wasn't stepping up and doing some of the things. It would get to the first couple of weeks and I'd be like, I don't feel like it today. I don't want to do it. And then I didn't do it. I didn't reach the goals and the results that I wanted to in my life. And only until I found how to break through what was holding me back, my limiting beliefs, my inner critic, was able to actually achieve what I wanted to. And so these tools that we're going through today, these are actually going to help you achieve the goals that you want to and step through and step beyond anything that holds you back from actually achieving it. So you can go to the next slide there. So when we think about this belief or this goal that we want to achieve, the result that we want in our life, typically there's something that holds us back from getting there. This could be fear, this could be doubt, this could be insecurity, this could be not feeling good enough or realizing that it hasn't worked yet, so why ever in the world would it happen again? So for you, think about when that doubt comes up, when you get to a point where you just don't want to, what do you tell yourself? What emotion comes up for you? And allow yourself to think about what that is. And maybe you need to write this down and come back to it, but take some time to uncover what is holding you back from achieving that goal. Not as what the logistics are, what the time is, whatever it is, but what feeling or thought is holding you back? What's that limiting belief that's going on? Or what is that inner critic that's in your mind telling you there's no way you can do this? Why do you even try? What's going on here? Stop getting on that bike, whatever it is for you. Write that down to understand that this is the thing that's holding you back, because that's what we're working on today. We're working through pushing through these things and moving beyond them so you can reach the goals that you want to in your life. And these limiting beliefs within our life, I see them, and the goals that we achieve within our life, I see our goals as this river, where one side is where we're at now, and the other side is where we want to be. And in this middle of this river is, I like to call it this river of misery. And this is where our inner critic comes to play. This is where our limiting beliefs come into play. This is where all those things and these doubts stop us from taking those next steps. So you're on this side that you're on now, you step a little toe in, you're like, oh, this is scary. I don't want to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. And you pull back. And these tools, what we're going to go through today, is going to actually help you to take one step, then another step, and continue through that river to the other side, where you're actually going to achieve your goals that you want to within your life and be able to use this process each time. And the more that you work through the river of misery, the more practice you have for pushing through those hard things that you never thought were going to be possible, that you thought you were never going to be able to do, you're going to be able to step through and do them. So see this as a practice for not just this goal, but for the rest of your life and the goals and the results that you may have now and forevermore too. Next slide, please. So when we think about these negative thoughts and these negative beliefs, these negative emotions that come up for us, we actually don't want to fight against them. We want to accept them for what they are. We want to understand what the facts are, because oftentimes our emotions get involved and we kind of get all crazy and loose on what actually are the circumstances that we're in. What are the facts? What's really going on? For me, oftentimes it's time. Time seems to shrink and I'm like, oh, I'm so stressed. There's not enough time. And then when I take a look at it logically, it's like, oh, I'm totally cool. Like I can do all these things in this time period. But when those emotions ride high, it can be hard to understand what those facts are. So trying to write down what are the facts that are going on right now and understanding that way. And also understanding that this doubt, this insecurity, these limiting beliefs, they are okay. There's nothing wrong with feeling this way. And it actually makes sense that you're feeling this way. Our brain is designed to keep us where we're at. That's one of its main goals, is that we've gotten accustomed to this process and it wants to keep you there because this period, this area of your life right now is safe for you. And any diversion from where you're at could be unsafe. So it doesn't want to step into that next stage and push itself into that next goal. And so we have to rewire our brain to actually push these limits for ourselves. So there's neural pathways within our brain. There's one neural connection and another neural connection, and they currently are connected by where you're at currently. And to achieve what you want to break this habit of being who you are today, to step into the other side of the river, you have to actually break these bonds. And you can think of it like a highway. And from point A to point B, you're trying to drive. And then there's this current highway there. But to actually change your destination and change the end location, you have to do some construction. You have to tear that highway down, which of course causes some chaos sometimes and causes you to figure out, how do I go? Which direction do I go now? Oh, there are signs now to go where I need to go, or where am I going? And so think of it as this, that when we change how we're showing up, what we're doing on a daily basis to reach our goals, that is re-establishing that highway for ourselves so we can make it to the other side of the river. Go ahead and go to the next slide. So we're going to hop into a meditation soon. And with this meditation, we're going to first do some breathing work to be able to center ourselves. And these breathing techniques can actually be used when you're in a high emotional state, that doubt, that fear coming into play. You can use these tools to calm yourself down and to bring more logic into your situation. And then we're going to bring up those negative thoughts, those negative emotions, and tell them, no more am I going to allow you into my life. I am choosing a different path, and that path is moving forward to my goals. And then we're going to think about what your life is going to be like without those areas. But before we go into that, we want to elevate our emotional state. We want to get ourselves excited, motivated, inspired to change these emotions. within our life and these limiting beliefs. Because if we're just going in there being like, yeah, you know what, limiting belief, I don't want to see you anymore, it's not going to have as much power as, you know what, limiting belief, you're done, you're out of here, that's it. And that's a state we want to be in. So go ahead and think of a previous success that you've had in your life. Something that you've accomplished for yourself, that you've achieved, that you were excited about. You got to and you're like, yes, I did it. Think of how proud you were, how excited, how confident, how successful, how motivated. This could be something that you've worked to for a while in your personal life or your business life. This could be a raise that you got, or a new promotion, or getting so many clients within your business, or saving up for a trip and going on it with your family. Pick something that brings these emotions to the front of your mind, where you can start to feel these emotions and bring them to the situation we're going to be bringing in today. So have that thing in mind of that previous success so we can draw on that for the meditation. Go ahead and go to the next slide. And we'll hop into that meditation. So again, we'll go through 2 breathing techniques, and then we'll tell this limiting belief, this limiting emotion, not today. We're not going to allow this into our life anymore, and see what comes up for us of our future, what it can be without it. So go ahead and find a comfortable position for yourself, either sitting, standing. If you're driving, make sure you don't close your eyes as you do this, but do something that's safe and comfortable for you at this point in time. If you're sitting, put your feet on the ground, put your hands on your lap, and close your eyes if you're comfortable with it. And allow yourself to come to this present moment. Taking 3 deep breaths in and out. And we'll hop into the first breathing exercise. And this first one, we're just going to count to 10. We're going to breathe in for 1, out 2, in 3, out 4, all the way up to 10. And we'll repeat a few times, just allowing us to settle into this moment and allow our breath to ground us. So get ready. And breathe in for 1, out for 2, in for 3, out 4, in 5, out 6, in 7, out 8, in 9, out 10, in 1, out 2, in 3, out 4, in 5, out 6, in 7, out 8, in 9, out 10. And continue on with your own breath at your own pace. Noticing how your breath has changed since we started. How much fuller your breaths are, how much more they're reaching your belly. Now we'll go into a second breathing technique. And this one, we're going to count to 4. Breathing in to 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. And we'll repeat this a couple times. Let's go ahead and get ready. And breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1. And out for 4, or hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And come back to your normal breath. And now bring up that limiting belief, that limiting thoughts, that emotion that is holding you back from moving forward. See it not as something that is ingrained for you, but as something that is external. Something that you can see outside of yourself. Describe this emotion, this belief for yourself. What size is it? What shape? Texture? Color? Is it hot or cold? Is it growing, shrinking, or staying the same? Allow yourself to see it as an external part of yourself. Now, bring up that recent success that you've had. Something that has excited you, where you've accomplished something great. And remember how it felt to achieve that, to accomplish that. What did you do when you achieved it? How did you act? How did you feel? Allow these emotions to come into your body and allow yourself to feel them now just as you did then. Maybe allowing a smile to creep up your face. Maybe doing a little jig. Allowing yourself to completely feel the accomplishment that you've had for success. And now take these positive emotions and wrap them around this limiting belief, this limiting emotion that's no longer serving you. Allow it to wrap around, to interweave with that doubt, that criticism, that limiting thing that's holding you back. Allow it to go through every pore. And allow that limiting belief, that limiting emotion to explode just like a firework with all the success that you've had within your life and from this recent event that you've brought up, all those positive emotions. And letting all those embers, those beautiful colors of the firework just fall to the ground. And then you're left with those positive emotions. That's like feelings of success, of achievement, of accomplishment, of motivation, of inspiration. Allow yourself to feel that with all the dust of that limiting belief on the ground. Now think of what is possible without these limiting beliefs, these limiting emotions within your life. What are you capable of? What can you achieve? Allow yourself to feel those emotions that you would feel now, with all those things being done. And know these emotions, these feelings can always be here for you. You can come back to them at any point in time when you need a little push, when you need a little nudge. And start to come back to those present moments, wiggling your fingers and your toes, and moving your body as it needs to. And only when you're ready, open your eyes and come back. Seeing where you're at right now, hearing what's around you, and coming back to the present moment, and bringing those positive emotions with you to the here and now. Next slide, please. All right, so this is a wonderful meditation to step into, to be able to leave behind those limiting beliefs, turn them into that firework and allow them to fall to the ground. But sometimes that's not enough for us. And those breathing techniques that we use, that counting to 10 and the counting to 4, those both can help you when you're feeling these limiting beliefs, these limiting emotions, and allow yourself to settle down and come back to the facts at hand. So use those when things get a little hairy. There's a second tool that I want to talk about. There's 3 of them here. Second one is to describe those emotions for what they are. So we describe that limiting belief, but we also can describe those emotions within our body that are coming up. So if it's doubt or fear or insecurity or apprehension or stress, whatever it is, start to see where that is in your body. It could be in your chest, your throat, your belly. See where it's at for yourself. And then describe it. What shape is it? What color is it? Is it growing or shrinking or staying the same? What temperature is it? And allow yourself to get out from that emotion, but to see it for what it is and experience it in your body and removing yourself from that emotion. And the third tool is to soothe yourself. So this might seem a little funny, but we do it all the time with babies. We rock them and hum to them when they're having a hard time. When they can't stop crying and you just want them to be okay, you rock and hum. And you can hum just one note, one little ditty, whatever it is that comes to you in that moment, you can do. And some people ask me, how much do you rock? And I'm like, however much it feels like. If it needs to be a deep one that day, I can. Or if it's a shallow one, that's okay too. But this you can use when you're driving, when you're at work and you're at your desk, maybe just humming a little quieter, or going off to the bathroom and just having some time to be able to separate yourself from those emotions and what they're going through. These 3 techniques of the breathing, the naming and describing your emotion, and the soothing tool can help you extremely to be able to remove the ties away from that thing, the thing that's triggering you, to those anxious feelings, that stress, that doubt, that anger, whatever it is, and disassociate them. So we talked about neural pathways, and this is another one that we're actually breaking by using these techniques. So on one side, we have our goal that might be triggering us, and then we have that emotional response on the other side. And by using these techniques, we disassociate them from each other, where that goal does not create that fear, that doubt, that insecurity any longer. And the more we do this, the more that gets reinforced into our body, and that goal, that result that we want, doesn't have those ties, those emotions. And so we can move through them a lot faster and move towards our goals so much easier when they're not tied to these emotions. So the more you practice this, the more easier it's going to be. All right, next slide, please. Okay, we're going to hop into another meditation. And this one, we're actually going to start to envision what our future would look like if we had this goal that we want to achieve done. How we would feel, what our experiences with life would be, how it would show up, how we interact with our friends, our family, our coworkers, everything along those lines. And before we do that, we're going to do a body scan to be able to center ourselves again, remove all the jumbling that's going on in our mind, and become present to what is. So go ahead and let's go ahead and before we do that, let's bring up that previous success one more time, where we're thinking about what we achieved, how we did it, and how we felt after we did that. That success, that motivation, that inspiration, that feeling of I can do anything, I'm on fire. Bring that up for yourself again so you can start to feel that and be able to use that within this meditation. So let's hop right in. Go ahead and find your comfortable position again, allowing yourself to become present to this moment. Taking 3 deep breaths in and out. And we'll scan our whole body, going from our head to our toes. And what we'll do as we scan and look through each body part is to just relax it. Allow it to melt away a little bit. Think of an ice cream on a hot day, just allowing these body parts to melt and relax. So start at your top of your head, allowing that body part to just relax and melt away. Moving down to your forehead, relaxing. Your eyes and your temples melting away. Your nose, your cheeks, allowing those areas to go. Your lips and your chin, your throat and neck, allowing that area to just melt away. Moving down to your shoulders, where oftentimes a lot of tension is, allowing those shoulders to just rest and fall away. Move down to your upper arms, your elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, and each individual finger, letting them all melt away. Move to your upper chest and upper back, letting those areas sink even deeper. Moving down to your mid-torso, your lower back, and your belly, allowing those areas to go. Move down to your hips, your thighs, your knees, allowing those areas to just relax. Move down to your lower legs, ankles, feet, and each individual toe. Allowing your whole body to melt, relax. Now bring up this recent success. Think of what you've achieved, what you've done, how you felt. What emotions did you feel? How did you show up for the people around you and yourself? Were you all giddy? Were you dancing around? Could you not include or involve this excitement that you had? You were just bouncing off the walls. How was it for you? And now take your goal, your new one that you're to achieve, and wrap all these positive emotions all around it. Allowing them to encircle that goal, to run through them, to expand your goal so it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until that goal pops and turns into your reality right now. That goal, that result that you want is done, is here right now in your life. And how would you feel if it was done? It is done. How are you thinking? What are you thinking? What is possible now this is done? How do you interact with others around you? What do you do? What awaits you? How do you celebrate? Allow yourself to experience this as it's done. Allowing yourself to feel grateful for all the work that you've done and how things have aligned themselves for it to come together for you. And breathe in this completion of this goal. Now start to come back to this present moment. Taking 2 deep breaths in and out. Starting to become aware of the things around you, the noises, where you're at. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. And wiggling your body as it needs. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Come back to this present moment. Bringing these emotions, this feeling of done to now. Next slide, please. And next one too. All right. So we talked a little bit during the meditation about gratitude and feeling grateful for it already being done. And the more that we can feel gratitude, the more we can bring everything towards us. Because the act of gratitude is the assumption and the ability for it to be done. And so the more that we seep into gratitude for it being done, the more that will come to us. Things will align, we'll take action to actually get there. So how can you bring more gratitude into your daily lives for this thing that you really want, that goal, that achievement, that result that you're excited about to achieve? Next slide, please. And one component that's often missing from reaching our goals and the results that we have in our lives is faith. And this could be to a higher power, universe, God, whatever it is for you, or it could just be in the process. If you know that breaking down these things will work, trust and have faith that it will. Oftentimes we push ourselves, and it's so easy to do, where we're like, okay, if I do this, this, and this, and this, then it's going to happen. Or it might happen, or something's going to happen, and you feel all the pressure on yourself. And when you feel that pressure, it can cause more doubt, more insecurities, more limiting beliefs to come into play. And so the more that we can trust in something larger than ourselves, that things are going to align for us, and that we're not the only player that's involved with this. Our friends and family are going to come into play. There's coincidence and serendipities that are going to come together. that your clients are attracted to you and they're coming to you, or there's money abundantly coming towards you. Whatever you can have faith in towards this, the more easier it's going to be to motivate yourself to do the things that you need to do your part. And the more you do your part, the more the other side's going to show up to help you create all of that. So have faith that you're not alone in this process. Next slide, please. And one of the things that I neglected for the longest time is balancing this idea of structure and flow. And so structure is sitting down, doing your to-do list, working through it, and doing all those things that you have to do in a way. And the other side is flow. Flow is letting the reins go, allowing yourself to relax, and allowing time to process and explore what's going on. And it's so easy to read something, go through a program, and be like, okay, this is exactly how I have to do it. But in truth, it's not. All the processes, all the tools, everything that you learn, you can adapt to you. So when you learn something new that might be helpful to you, figure out first if you think it's going to be helpful or not, and then adapt and change those things that don't quite work for you, because you are an individual person, and we all are. One thing that works for someone is not going to work for the other. So understanding that all these different things may not work for you allows you to open it up and explore what will, and how can you tweak it to make it work for yourself. And allowing that time to be in that to-do list stage, but also doing what you want when you want it. And allowing that time to have that freedom, having that release, having time to spend on the beach or going out in the mountains or just hanging out by the pool, whatever that is for you, allowing that time and space for things to happen. Because you can do all you need to, but without that faith, as we mentioned, it's not going to happen. And it's going to force you to feel that pressure continuously and have more limiting beliefs. So the more that we can step into that flow and allow other things to happen around us, and in that process be less stressed, to be less anxious, have fewer limiting beliefs, because we allow that time to take care of ourselves. And can also see this as work life and being able to balance the two, and being able to see what you need to do on each side to take care of yourself, and be able to integrate one side or the other when you need to. And the more that you're able to balance that structure, that flow, that work and life, all of these things, the more you can have your life work for you rather than you working for your life. And that might be a small distinction, but when you're able to step into a space where you enjoy your life every day, where you show up and you know that you are contributing to the destination that you need to, that's huge. And start to see how you can allow your life to work for you. Next slide, please. All right. Well, here's my contact information if you want to reach out. I post on Facebook really pretty frequently to give you exciting news, tips and tricks, as well as my experiences as I go through these things myself. And if you are interested in talking about this more and diving in with your goals and what you're trying to achieve and figuring out what the specific limiting beliefs are and how you can break through them, and when things get hard, having a cheerleader on the other side of that river tell you, you can do this. You are capable, you're amazing, and it is possible to do it. And you just have to go a little bit forward, one more step, and it'll be okay. Go ahead and click the exploration call link down there, and we can hop on a call to talk about what it is you want, what's holding you back, and how together we can make that happen for you.
There we go. Amazing. Mikkel, thank you so much for your presentation and for taking us through that journey. I know that I was extremely relaxed and I took my notes as we went through and actually participated because this was incredible stuff. Mikkel, I want to ask you this. I know that you can work with people remotely as well, but when people work with you kind of face to face, you have an amazing process. I think I read recently that you would go for these meditation walks and so on. Talk to us a little bit about that, because that is unique.
Yes, so I hold coaching hikes, and I actually had one with a client today and have one next Tuesday in the Salt Lake City area. So I take my clients out and talk with them about what's going on in their lives, what's holding them back, what struggles can we help them with, and allow nature's beauty to help inspire us. To allow pause to the conversation where we sometimes would on Zoom just rush through it, and allow that space to allow things to sink in and allow questions to come up and thoughts and concerns, as well as when there's an aha moment to be like, oh, and be able to see the view around yourself and just allow that space for it to sink in for you. It's amazing to be able to take people outside with it all.
That's absolutely brilliant.
I love it for
Like,
sure.
so nice. And something that's so, like I said, so unique, because I know that I've personally received coaching. I coach people exclusively virtually, but I know that there's something deeper that can happen when you're in person, you're out in nature, you're actually, kind of like you and I have talked about hiking and my thoughts on hiking.
Mm-hmm.
But with you, Mikkel, I might try it.
Ooh, there we go. I actually went on a hike yesterday with an individual, and it was a half-mile hike round trip. And we just sat by the river, saw the waterfall, and sat by the river to talk alongside that. And just that presence of being there with the river washing behind us, seeing the little birds trying to cool down in the water, it was incredible to be able to open up about things that we probably wouldn't have otherwise. So it was wonderful to have that space in nature to be able to provide that environment for us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely amazing. So, for everyone watching, you, of course, need to go find out more about Mikkel Leslie, her website, her Calendly link, and all of the ways to contact her will be linked below in the message. If you're on YouTube, we ask that you, of course, like and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, please leave a comment and leave us just a note about one of your key takeaways from this. Which meditation did you like the most? Right? And which one are you going to listen back to so that you can do a repeat of it? Because remember, practice makes permanent. So, for
Mm-hmm.
everyone, thank you so much for watching tonight. It's been my pleasure to have you, Mikkel. You are wonderful as
Yeah.
always, and I'm excited to have you again in a few months.
Yes. Wonderful.
Amazing. Bye, everybody. See you soon.
Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get away. This is what we waited for.